and even for yourself nowadays, we Wi-Fi so much, and we WhatsApp so much. You switch off your Wi-Fi for 10 days, and say I rely on just normal phone call. You'll find yourself automatically going to WhatsApp, because it is a habit. But for the kids, it's even worse. I mean, our generation, we didn't grow up with all this 3G stuff. The first thing my daughter come back is, so partial fasting of food, especially girls, doesn't seem to work. But you fast your handphone, they will go and 1,001 things. I need it for work, I need it for school work. My friends want to contact me, I say use the normal phone. There are 1,001 reasons why it is the hardest thing to partial fast for the modern generation, and maybe even for some of us, the number of hours we spend on the handphone. So I do suggest that if you decide to try the fasting of your handphone for 10 days, no Wi-Fi, the normal phone, okay, let's see how some of us behave. So in the train, okay, let me put it this way. When you do fast, don't be too ambitious. If it's your first time fasting, take baby steps. Okay, Jesus, in the case of Jesus, it's implied that he actually had water but no food, because he said he was hungry, he never said he was thirsty. So as a result, people were saying Jesus actually went on a liquid fast. It's a bit different from Elijah. Elijah is no food and no water for 40 days. Jesus is actually a liquid fast. So, and it's interesting because a liquid fast is something that is doable without supernatural aid from God. Because Elijah, unless God gives you the supernatural ability to fast like that, attempt to fast 40 days and 40 without food and water, you will die. The max you can go is 3 days, which is what Queen Esther did. After that, your body will shut down badly. So don't attempt anything above 3 days unless it's a supernatural fast that God tells you. But let's say you want to do a 40-day fast, as in, I've never done a 40 days fast, and any of you tried that? Okay, one.
One of my friends.
Okay, so what is a 40-day fast? The Muslims have a style of fasting that they call it X number of days, but they actually eat one meal. Okay, so in this case, it's 2 meals they spread out, and 1 meal they eat. Some people, when they try the 40-day fast, they will skip 1 meal and eat 2. Okay, this is just initial starting. Then if you really want to go on a full 40-day fast and go pure liquid fast, there are certain types of things that will keep you going. So you drink vegetables, soup, or like carrots, pumpkin, and so forth. You eat fruit juice, but do you think it's good to eat orange juice, drink orange juice on an empty stomach?
I can drink.
But I was told it's not healthy too, so don't start with orange juice on an empty stomach. And usually people that go on this 40 days fast, pure liquid fast, they drink a lot of broth. Okay, broth is a thick soup. You can make it out of mashed potato, which actually can be quite filling. You can make it out of cream of mushrooms and so forth. One example of taking soup for fasting, and you can buy it off the shelf, is soup spoon. Is it soup spoon? Yeah, soup spoon. You take the thickest soup in the soup spoon, take out all the veggie and the meat, and that's broth. And it's actually quite filling and can actually sustain you. Okay, unless you want to cook yourself, which takes you a long time to cook, and your wife will probably be very unhappy if you do broth 3 times a day. But if you're willing to go to soup food. You look funny, you just take the soup and don't take the veggie and the meat, you can tapao back. But that is one way to go on a 40 days fast, on a quick and easy, without asking your wife to start making broth or then boiling the chicken bones and then all kinds of things, because soup spoon is quite, I'm not promoting soup spoon, please. I don't own shares in soup spoon or have a business interest, but it is one quick way of doing the liquid fast. Practical, help, and without having to, like say, call your wife to start making broth. Okay, so with that, you can actually do the 40-day fast. But take baby steps. Maybe you do that for one meal, soup for one meal, and then one meal you eat normally until your body gets used to it. Also, please remember the type of job also affects whether you can or cannot fast. If you do construction work and you have to climb the steeper, the scaffolding, then I would say, can you please reconsider whether you may want to fast only during weekends. You may need the energy outright. So, like I said, the fasting do not make a person more holy. Okay, people who fast may not be as closer to God as you think. Remember what they say. It doesn't really make anyone more spiritual if you fast or you don't fast. That's my personal view. Okay, I may be wrong, but a person who loves God doesn't necessarily need to fast, but he may fast because there is a reason to fast, not because fasting makes him super spiritual. It does not. And if you tell everybody you fast, and like the person in the wedding feast, I'm fasting during the wedding feast, and within the next week, quite a few Christians heard about it and said, "What the fish you're doing?" Okay, so you can start skipping. The first time you fast, please, you can start by skipping one meal rather than full fast, and slowly attempt the other type of fast. When you do break a fast, let's say you've been fasting, and you decide to break a fast in a meal, take something light like fruits and vegetables. Okay, these are just practical suggestion. The other thing is that sometimes you may find nausea when you go on a fast. That's because sometimes your body is getting rid of some of the toxins. Like in my case, with the coffee, I was having a slight headache, but I was told that you can cause a bit of nausea if you are facing toxins in your body. And it was suggested that one way to handle this, you get a warm cup of water and drink some peppermint herbal tea. It will help. I've never tried this, but somebody was telling me it works. Okay, when you're faced with fasting and you're facing some nauseousness, look for peppermint herbal tea. But I think Twining sells it. Yeah. Oh, okay. So I do not know about culturally, but do the Buddhists fast? I guess they do. Hindus also fast. Right? So fruit juices, you can mix fruits with vegetables for the fast. They say when you fast, avoid black tea or tea with caffeine. So obviously my coffee is not the really good thing. So I guess let's ask ourselves how much okay. Okay. Shall we turn to 2 Chronicles 7:14?
If my sorry, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I will forgive their sins and will heal the land.
Chapter 1.
7 verse 14. Okay, even though it doesn't say fasting here, but I think one of the aspects of fasting is really to humble ourselves. I mean it's a form of humbling. That's what I feel. With that, that's why you see the king of Nineveh with the sackcloth and the ashes. I mean that is taking humbling to the ends. I mean, seriously, you don't need sackcloth and ashes to fast. That's my personal view, but obviously the king of Nineveh did that, and the results was fantastic for him. So fantastic that it seems worthwhile to consider doing it. And I can't find sackcloth in Singapore. Okay, 2 Samuel chapter 12 verse 15 to 18.
Second Samuel.
Chapter 12 verse 15 to 18.
After Nathan had gone home, the Lord struck the child that Uriah's wife had born to David, and he became ill. David prayed with God for the child. He fasted and spent the nights lying in sackcloth on the ground. The elders of his household stood beside him to get him up from the ground, but he refused and he would not eat any food with them. On the seventh day, the child died. David's attendants was afraid to tell him that the child was dead, for they thought while the child was still living, he would listen to us when we spoke to him. How can we now tell him the child is dead? He may do something desperate. David noticed that his attendants were whispering among themselves, and he realized the child was dead. Is the child dead? He asked. Yes, they replied, he is dead. Then David got up from the ground after he had washed, put on lotion, and changed his clothes. He went into the house of the Lord and worshipped. Then he went to his own house, and at his request, they served him food, and he ate.
Okay, two aspects here. One is fasting for illness. David fasted because someone was sick, and this is something that sometimes Christians think that you can twist God's arm by fasting, and in this case, to be very honest, the child still died, despite King David, which is supposed to be a man after God's heart, a godly man, praying and fasting. So fasting does not mean that God, just because you fast, God is going to answer your prayer. It does not equal that. So do not think that, hey, that 100% God will answer. But certainly God will hear. To answer or not answer is up to him. As in the case, King David found that the child actually died. And then he said, okay, in this case, fast is over. Let's eat. There's perfectly nothing wrong. It shows two very valuable points. Fasting for the sickness, and this sometimes God isn't going to answer my request because I fast. For whatever reason, I do not know, but this is the practicality of the whole thing. Okay, don't always assume that you can twist God's arm by fasting. It doesn't work. Okay. There are many Christians who fasted for different reasons. Fasting for money was one that cropped out this year. Somebody said, if you have no money, you don't need to ask for money. Just go on a fast, and somebody will knock on the door of your office and give you money. I'm not sure of that one, but this is their belief. And so churches have often fasted if they need money for the land, for the land building, to build a church. They sometimes go on a fast so they can have enough money to buy the property. I think fasting is the reason for fasting is really many. You can fast for forgiveness of sin. You can fast for the studies of your kids. You can fast for 1,001 other reasons I can never think of. Okay, that you yourself personally know. You may fast for deliverance of casting